Whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth.
Amen.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yes, amen.
The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore.
Amen.
No wonder
Thank you, Lord.
he didn't stop there. See, all these chapters and verses were added. When this was originally written, the whole book of Psalms is just one big scroll. We've added all this other to divide it up, make it a little easier. So after those 8 verses of such positive exhortation of the Lord, then he goes right into 122. Verse 1, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm going to preach for just a little bit today about that which will keep me.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Somebody say that which will keep me. Now already the enemy's trying to move among some of y'all. Get your minds off of what I'm getting ready to say. And you're thinking about what you're doing this afternoon, what you got going tomorrow. You're thinking about this, that, whatever. Come on, get everything out of your mind. Get everything out of the way. I'm getting ready to blow your mind from the Word of God. Put your hands together and let's worship Him. And let's give Him glory. Oh Lord, we thank you. We praise you. We give you honor. We give you all glory. You are our power. Thank you, Jesus. Somebody shout amen. Amen. Bless you. You may be seated. I thank you all for the suit I'm wearing today. The last 3 times I've been able to be in the house of the Lord with y'all, I have worn a new suit. And y'all bought me that, and I am grateful. Well, thank you, sir. I'll take all compliments and give them all back to Jesus. Because He made all this.
Amen.
And if all this causes you problems, take it up with Him.
Amen.
Sociology is a study of what people create when they interact with each other. The practices of these interactions give birth to our values, our beliefs, and our patterns of expected behavior. These, in turn, recreate their creators. Our values, our beliefs, and our patterns of expected behavior control us. They guide us. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, we must be careful what we give value to, what we believe in, and what we will then perceive as patterns of behavior. We have seen what has happened to our great nation. Our values, our beliefs, and our behaviors have changed. What has made America great in times past is now gone away. And we have reaped the whirlwind. Murder and rape, robbery and violence, sexual permissiveness, the occult, gang life, cheating, lying. And it just goes on and on and on.
Amen.
I believe a lot of it is because too much, too soon, to the too young. A lot of what has happened in America is because we experience reality through movies and videos and games. And so our values and beliefs and these patterns of expected behavior just deteriorate. You can't tell me you don't see that in our world. Have you seen what's on television? Have you seen what's on movies and videos and games? And everybody's plugged in to their phone. And so being artificially generating excitement, that it becomes difficult to find anything to be genuinely enthusiastic about it. So it revolves around the club. It revolves around drugs and alcohol. It revolves around, you gotta look good, girl. It revolves around all this permissiveness and lifestyles of sin. And listen to me. To a certain extent, what goes on in our world happens within the church. And it slips in unaware. And apathy becomes one of our greatest enemies. Apathy is running rampant in the church world today. Just go along. Just whatever. However. And so what it has created is a one-dimensional man or woman. One-dimensional. It's all about the fun. It's all about the good times. It's all about... And so we rob tomorrow to pay today. You understand what I just said? We'll be broke tomorrow, but boy, we had a good time tonight. We'll be ruined tomorrow, but we had a good time tonight. And so what happens? We are lulled into a comfortable, sensate, permissive, appetizing form of slavery. We're just going along. If you're not careful, it happens in the world, but it also happens in the church, in the youth and the Friday night activities and mamas and daddies and we can come to church and sing our song and we can have talent on display and we have ability and we get to feel good at church and we love our preacher and we love the fellowship, but we're slaves to what the world is throwing at us. And we just go through the motions and we sit in church and we're bored. And we just can't see how it's going to happen. But you hear this gospel preacher today. I'm preaching to a people today. You were not born again of water and spirit to be a slave. You were not born again of the water and spirit just to be a slave to the tyranny of our world. You were born again with the need to win. You were born again to conquer. Listen to me. Slavery is unnatural.
Amen.
break a man's will. You gotta break a woman. Come on, do you hear what I'm saying? You were not born to be a slave. You and I function from the view of the predator, not the prey.
Amen.
We possess an obsession to grow, to expand, to improve. We're born again for the high place, to gravitate toward that which will cause increase in our spirituality, in our emotions, in our physical life. We're to grow and be better. Come on, I'm preaching to somebody. There's more to life than just having fun. There's more to life. Listen, broad is the way to destruction, but narrow is the way to heaven. Hey, friend, not everybody that says, I'm for Jesus, is going to heaven. He said, many say, but we did wonders in your name. He said, I never knew you. I'm preaching right now. You are here this morning on purpose. You didn't just happen to walk into this church. You didn't just happen to show up. You didn't just happen to come in here, but you are here on purpose. And that purpose is designed and equipped for the particular function of discerning and developing the God-given abilities He has invested in you. God has given you. God has anointed you. God has raised you up. God has put in you. What are you doing with it? Where are you going with it? What God gave you. Come on. Are you the man with the one talent? But you're hiding it in the herd. You're hiding it in the world. You're hiding it in that lifestyle. But friend, He said, well, I brought the one back to you.
Come on.
He took it away from him. Gave it to someone else.
Come on.
He said, cast him out in the outer darkness where there's gnashing of teeth. Because I'm telling you, the purpose God has given. You hear me, young people. You hear me, mom and daddy. You hear me now. I'm preaching to you. God has invested in you. And He's not wanting you to play it away and be frivolous about it. But He wants you to discern and develop what He has placed in you. Come on. You say, Mom and Daddy, get off my back. God gave you that Mom and Dad to help you grow in your ministry and what you can do for the kingdom of God. And all this victim mentality.
Come on.
God created you to be the victor. God created you to be the overcomer. That's why we got to put Him first. We got to walk with Him.
Amen.
Friend, I fell in love with Jesus Christ. And my life has got to be about Him. I know we have our jobs. And I know we have to go through all this. But friend, first and foremost, it's got to be, I love Jesus Christ. Oh, I got to get closer to Him every day. I got to be like Him. Hallelujah. That which separates the victors and the victims is not your money. It's not your talent. It's not your ability. I remember my wife and I were about 26 years old, walking in to the Louisiana District Tabernacle. There's probably 8,000 people there that night. And we walked in, and we're sitting about the third row from the front. And there was 2 girls behind us. I had dated one of them before I fell in love with this one. And they lived their lifestyle. And at one time they were full of Holy Ghost power. But not now. No, they're living another lifestyle. They don't even look the same. And I'm sitting in front, they're sitting right down front. Listen, not everybody that comes to church is going to heaven. And so I'm worshiping. And it's July 5, if I remember right, and I was sweating down, and I sweat through the coat, and I'd take the coat off, and that one looked at me and she said, "Oh, Tom, do you really think that's necessary?" Oh, good God, glory. Come on, listen to me. It's not your money, it's not your talent, it's not your ability. It's not your pedigree. It's not your good looks. That's not what's going to separate the sheep from the goats. I'll tell you what it's going to be. You hear me now? This is what it is. It's your passion for God. It's how you love Him. It's how you demonstrate it. It's how you show it. It's what you do with it. You hear me? Your attitude is what you think. Your passion is what you feel. I'm afraid too many times. Yeah, we preach about you don't go by feelings, you go by faith. But I'm afraid too many times we think too much and we don't feel enough. Hey, I feel after the Lord. I may not feel good in my flesh, but I feel after the Lord. I may think I'm down. I may think I'm out. But when I start feeling after the Lord, oh, that's when passion rises up. That's when passion takes over. And passion will cause you to do things that you should have never done. I'm so tired of it. They come along and they talk about, want to go to a new level? You're going to get a new devil. And a new level means a greater devil. Well, guess what? I'm not going to be intimidated to stay at this level. And if it's a bigger devil or a greater level, I'm going to the next level. And I've got news for that greater devil. Amen. The same God that anointed me to bring power against the devil on that level, it's going to overcome the greater devil at the next level. I'm preaching passion. Are you passionate about the club? Are you passionate about God? Are you passionate about what you're going to do in the world? Are you passionate about the Lord Jesus Christ? Somebody shout, yeah. Yeah. I'm not talking about wishing. Oh, I wish. I'm not talking about a mere interest. Well, I might be interested. I'm talking about, I wrote it down. Here it is. Jeremiah 20 and verse 9. He said it was like a fire. Shut up in my bones. Oh Lord, when I have a need, when I have a problem, when I got trouble, I don't look to government. I'm not looking to society. I'm not looking to friends. I'm not looking. I look to the Lord Jesus Christ. I will lift up mine eyes Somebody shout, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, shout it with some passion.
Yeah.
It'll cause you to do things you never should have done. When you get that fire shut up in you, when you get a fire, come on, somebody. I watched these singers up here today. Hey, several years ago, you couldn't have drunk some of them up here. But oh yeah, now today there is a passion. There is a, come on, somebody. I'm preaching to you. Woo. Somebody shout yeah. When you have a passion for God, there's no detour. There's no turning back. You're going beyond yourself. You're believing in a cause that's greater than yourself. You will not be denied. You'll walk the walk and you'll talk the talk because you're on fire. You're on fire. I got up this morning and I said, I'm on fire. I'm going to preach on fire. I'm having a passion. Come on, if you're going to live for God, if you're going to go to heaven, it's going to be because you have a passion. Praise the Lord.
Come on, Bishop.
Our little golf clap service. Oh, don't get so excited. Oh, listen. He went to the cross and Calvary. He drained the blood. He did that with a passion. Why do you think they call it his passion? Hey, it was his passion. He saw you and you and you and he saw me. Hey, when he was on the cross, I was on his mind. And then he had that kind of passion. I gotta have it. You gotta have it. You're not gonna go to heaven just Somebody shout, yeah. You'll be remembered for what you had passion for.
Amen.
If you die, let me back up. When you die, and they have to speak words over you, they're going to talk about what you will be remembered for. Is it going to be, oh, we all had good times? Oh, yeah, man. We were dancing all the night away at the club. I don't know if they call it club. That's what my daddy said it was. 16, he joined the Navy. He got out when he was 19. And he was 6 foot, 200, and none of your business pounds. And he was in gangs. Yeah, they had them back then. And it was drugs and drinking and fighting. My twin brother and I went through a trunk. And they didn't want us to look in that big old trunk. And I found that scrapbook. Man, my twin and I opened it up and went through there. There was pictures of my daddy sitting at a table and had all these empty beer bottles and whiskey bottles sitting on the table. And he's sitting there in a white t-shirt with the sleeves rolled up with his arms like this. And he had women all around him. Big old cigar. All right, another one, it was a big pipe. And I looked at another one, and there he was with them out in the sands of New Mexico. And they're all in their swimsuits. And boy, there he is, the big guy. And he's running with the gang. I went to the hospital here in Dallas not long after I came here. One of those gang members was in the VA hospital in Dallas. And I heard about it, so I went up to see him. When I walked in the room, he looked at me and said, "Well, Freddie, what are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I'm son of Freddie." He said, "We called him Fast Freddie." Oh, Lord. He started talking about my daddy. I said, "Well, I don't know him." He said, there was a change. I said at one time he had the passion for the club. For one time he had the passion for the gang. He said, I remember we had a little old short guy that was the leader of our gang, and we were up against another gang, and that little man popped his mouth off, and one of the others came over and was mad and cussing and going to fight, and that guy hauled off and hit him and then run away and said, Fast Freddy, take him. He said, your daddy and that other guy fought hand to hand for what seemed like hours, but it was only a matter of minutes. And there was blood. And I went and asked my daddy about that. I said, Dad, I didn't know. He said, who's been talking to you? He had a passion for it. But when he got saved, he couldn't walk in that world and God's world. He couldn't go with the drinking and the carousing and the running with women and the fighting and the drugs and Fast Freddy. He had to leave Fast Freddy behind because he got a new passion. And at 21 years of age, he waved it goodbye and he went to Bible college. And they thought, he was a big sportsman. They thought he was just one of those soft guys because he wouldn't play sports with them. He kept in his room going through the Bible and outlining it chapter by chapter. It took him 2.5 years, but when he got done, he said, I've caught up with everybody else. He walked out of that room. I had one of his friends tell me, Dad didn't tell me this, said he walked out and interrupted their ball game and picked up a bat and stepped to the plate, and they all said, we knew he meant business. He said, throw me one. They threw him one. He knocked it over the fence. I'm telling you, he got a passion. He started churches. He started a Bible college. He had one of the largest churches in our movement. I'm preaching to you today. What will you be remembered for? If I have to preach on funeral, what will I be able to say about you? That you had a passion. What is your passion? Is it kids? Is it grandkids? Nothing wrong with that. Is it a job? Nothing wrong with that. But you better make sure you have a passion for God. That He's first. That you're involved in ministry. Your hands. Somebody shout yes. Come on, I would to God that we wouldn't go home the way we came. I would to God that you would not go home with everything just right. I would to God that you would go home today with sweat on your brow. You would go home today with your lungs are expanded and your throat is hoarse and your voice is gone because you have a passion. In the book of Acts, it says they cried aloud for over 2 hours to the goddess Diana. For 2 hours, they were jumping and screaming to the goddess Diana. And we come to church and all we can do is sit there. Hey, you hear me? They go crazy at concerts. They go crazy at ball games. They'll go crazy in restaurants and bars. But you hear me? Don't act that way at church. Don't you dare. You be quiet at church. We'll get out of here. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. I'm not going to let them out worship me on some ball school. I'm not going to let them out worship me at a ball game. I'm not going to let them out worship me. They'll hit them all and score a run, and the crowd goes crazy. take that pigskin and fling it, and another one catches it and they score, and the crowd goes crazy. Oh yeah, he'll take his faded shot and shoot it from the three-point line, and it goes through the net, and the crowd goes crazy. But when you come to church, you better not do that, Kenny Baldwin. No, this is church. You're not supposed to act that way. Don't you dare do that. Come on. You gotta make up in your mind. I'm gonna get crazy for Jesus Christ. I'm gonna get beside myself. See, it's passion that causes you to live for God. It's passion that will cause you to tell the ones you're partying with, say, I gotta wave goodbye to that lifestyle because I gotta go live for Jesus Christ. Somebody shout yes! Come on. David could go up against Goliath even though he was untrained in warfare. He didn't know how to have the sword or the spear. He didn't know how to shoot the bow and the arrow. But passion got a hold of him. He was just a teenager. He wasn't trained for battle. But when the rest wouldn't go, he said, is there not a cause? Is there? Passion got a hold of him, and he ran into the valley. And he slew Goliath. It was 3 Hebrew boys. They should have kept their mouths shut. Shh, you're on the backside, don't you? They said, we're not bowing. Come on, the world's always trying to get you to bow. The world is always trying to act like you don't know how to have fun. You're a nobody. You're just, why don't you make up in your mind, I'm not bowing to your God. I'm not bowing. I'm going to give God praise. Come on, somebody. They didn't bow, but they didn't burn either. And those that bowed burn up. The 7 men that threw them in, they all burned up. Oh, but the 3 that would not bow were the 3 that would not burn. I'm preaching to somebody. Come on. I'm not talking about some little wish or interest, but I want a fierce, consuming hunger, a passion. I need thee. I gotta have you. I don't care if it's a crowd or if there's only 2 or 3 or if I'm by myself. I'm hungry for you, Lord. Hey, it doesn't depend on your preacher. It doesn't depend on your youth pastor. It doesn't depend on your mom and daddy, your elder, or whoever. It depends on you and your passion for God. Somebody shout yes. Okay. Throw those notes out. I wonder if there's some men in this house.
Amen.
If you don't care what anybody thinks, you don't care what anybody says, you have a passion for God. And you want your kids to, I challenge you, get down here.